What time is it? It's Snippet time. Hello, gals. Welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where you and I live alcohol-free, or do our best, so we can heal our relationships, feel youthful again, and ditch regret and shame. That's what we do here. Welcome to Sober Living Snippets. If you're new, welcome aboard. Your life will never be the same, if I do say so myself. I'm Becca Jacobson, and we are here today together on Valentine's Day, sending you buckets of love. And I have such a treat for you today. I've been saving it up all week for you. Valentine's Day. We've been talking about love all week, leading up to this amazing conclusion to our Valentine's week. I'm going to give you 5 specific exercises you can do to increase your self-love. Are you ready? Grab your journal. If not, if you're driving, don't grab your journal. You're going to want to come back. 5 exercises that you can do to increase your self-love. And they actually have to be done in a specific order. Actually, the fact is, let's be clear here. You've got to do number 1 first. Once you've done number 1, the other 4 can be done in any order, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, are we ready for this? Well, first of all, let's just back up because we talked about self-love on Monday, and I want to make sure, that's long 4 days ago, I want to make sure we remember why this matters. There'll be no rolling of eyes. There'll be no deep sighs. We must undertake self-love if we want to get the life we want. It's not optional. We have to get on board with this. If you're not believing me yet, go back to Monday, which was the 10th of February, 4 whole days ago, and listen to that snippet. This is not an optional part of recovery. You gotta let it go. You gotta love yourself. Might start with fair enough. You might even be going, hey, Becca, I don't have a problem with that. I'm good. Well, that's great. Then what you can do with these exercises is increase your self-love, increase your self-esteem, increase your confidence in yourself. This will help you overcome any imposter syndrome you might be experiencing, any kind of shyness, anything like that. We should walk through this world with our shoulders back and our heads held high as children of the Most High, spirits walking around in bodies. That's what we are. We are energy, and we deserve the absolute best. We deserve it. Every single one of us, every human walking this earth deserves the best, and that includes you. Nobody on this planet is better than you are. You know, a while ago, I'm talking 2007, 2006 in there, I was studying and practicing the teachings of Yogi Paramahansa Yogananda. And I had been introduced to his teachings through his book, The Autobiography of a Yogi. Practiced his teachings for a long time, and I still do practice some of his teachings. But the reason I'm bringing this up is I went on several retreats in his ashrams. He's got ashram down in California, a couple of them, one in Pacific Palisades, one in Encinitas. Anyway, went on retreat, went to some of the conferences that his organization puts on. He left his body in 1952. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up is one of the many, many things that he taught was that on the spiritual plane, there are no big or little souls. Once we leave these bodies, all of us are equal. So think of the most famous, so-called important person on earth right now, whoever that might be, or several of them. Think of them. Think of somebody really famous that you think is way above you. Guess what? On the spiritual plane, you are equal. There are no big or little souls. We're all, right? So that's where, if we can believe that, we realize how important it is that you walk this earth claiming your position, your strength, your right to be here and have the absolute best on this earth. There is no excuse for saying, well, I'll just take a back seat to other people. No. And if you're worried about becoming an egomaniac, we'll talk about that on another snippet. Obviously, there's humility involved and all of that. But right now, I just want to build you up, okay? If you become an egomaniac, I'll let you know and we can work on that. But for now, claim your spot as a child of the Most High, as a spirit, as a soul, as a ball of energy inhabiting a body of flesh. That is who you are. And you deserve the absolute best. Yes, I know. I see. I'm getting to it. I know you're sitting there going, tell me the 5 things, Becca. I can see that look on your face. I'm getting there, I promise. Okay, if I've got you convinced now the importance of this, and just to one more thing, and I promise I'll get to it. If you don't undertake to step into your power, we can't offer others pure love, whether it be our family, our friends, our pets, if we don't step into our power and claim the self-love that we need and deserve. So this is just like, gotta do it, gals. Gotta do it, right? So you gotta be on board with me on this. Okay. Now, let's get started. Number 1, as I said at the beginning, here are 5 things you can do, exercises you can do. First of all, don't do them all. Don't say, okay, I'm going to do all 5 of these today. No. What I want you to do with these 5 things is this. I want you to take number 1 and do it. Everybody's doing number 1, and I'm going to talk about it in 1 second. But after number 1, there are 4 more which can be done in any order, and I want you to pick the one that appeals to you the most and practice it for a couple of weeks. Just one. Just say, I'm going to do that one. Practice that one for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. Be consistent with it. Keep track of it in your journal. Once you feel like you've got that one, then go, okay, now I'm going to try a different one. But don't go do all 4 of them, because it's just going to water them down. So take note of these, make a little plan, choose the one you want to do, and get on with this project that is so important in your life. But everyone's doing number 1. And number 1 is, I've actually been talking about it since I turned on the microphone. Decide that you are worthy of self-love. How do you make a decision? This is the exercise. I want you to sit down, listen to this snippet as many times as you have to until you're convinced, and then write in your journal, I have decided I am worthy of self-love, and I am going to make it a project to like myself more and ultimately love myself. Just make an internal shift. Feel your heart. Look in the mirror. However you have to do it, I want you to make the decision to do this. And yes, that's number 1. Make a decision, write it down in black and white and ink and blue and white, whatever, pink and white, whatever kind of pen you're using. Write it down, and then you can begin the other 4. Without this step, you're going to go into the other exercises lukewarm. So really, step 1 is getting an internal shift of enthusiasm to do this. All right. Now, once you've done number 1, you can choose one of these 4 to work on over the coming weeks. Number 2 is give yourself a hug every day. After the hug, write down in your journal how it felt. How do we give ourselves a hug? Don't roll your eyes. I saw that. Bear with me. We do this in a very specific way, okay? To give ourselves a hug, we actually move energy through our body. So I want you to sit up straight or stand up straight. I want you to put your left hand on your heart, which is a very powerful energy center. And of course, it's your love center. It's where the love comes from. We feel it there, don't we? Put your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your forehead gently, with your fingers just resting on the top of your head. So you've created an energetic loop from one hand to the other, going from the top of your head through the heart and around and around. We've created a loop here, an energetic loop. The top of our head is called the crown center. It's a very powerful center of energy in the body. When we connect it to our heart center, and we sit quietly with the left hand on the heart, the right hand on the forehead, and the fingers on the crown. We close our eyes, we put our hands in position, we breathe very deeply and slowly. When we inhale through the nose, we're filling up the belly so that the air is going right into the bottom of the lungs. We're exhaling through the mouth, and we're pulling the belly in to really empty out the lungs. You're going to sit quietly for a few minutes, and you're going to just breathe and let this energy from the heart and the crown flow in a cycle, and you are giving yourself a hug of love. I'm not crazy about the word hug, actually, but symbolically, I guess that's what we can call it. But you're actually moving powerful energy through your own body. And it's love energy because it's coming from the heart and because you're doing it with the intention of love. When you do this, and you're doing the breathing, you know what you'll feel? You will actually feel loved. You'll feel the energy. You'll feel energized afterwards. You'll feel calmer. You'll feel safer. You'll feel as though somebody has given you a hug. Somebody has given you love, energy, safety, security, a hug. And it came from you, the energy that you get from universal source. What could be more powerful? So there is number 2. Number 2 exercise is a daily hug, and it's no small exercise. It's very powerful. Once you've done that for a minute or 2, you're sitting there. Basically, once your arm gets sore with your hand on your forehead, your arm might get tired. Go ahead and bring your hands back down. Take a couple more deep breaths. Open your eyes, and then just write in your journal one sentence that describes something about yourself that you like. One sentence that is positive about you. I am worthy of a hug today is good enough. I love myself today. Today I'll be kind to myself. Just some statement that solidifies that hug and signals that you've done it. And you can do that day after day after day. Do it for a couple of weeks at least before you move on to choose another exercise. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is recording your daily wins. Recording your wins. Pay attention to when you do something quote unquote right. It's not the greatest word, but pay attention to when you step up. And I mean the smallest of things have to be noticed. Start noticing when you don't snap back. Start noticing when you stop yourself in the middle of a sentence that shouldn't be completed. Start noticing when you think more kindly of someone than you normally would. Notice when you let someone in traffic. Just notice yourself stepping up. Wait, I am changing. Wait, I am growing. Hold on a sec. The smallest thing must be acknowledged. So you're going to keep a journal. Exercise number 3 is keeping a journal, keeping track of your wins, the things that you're doing to grow, your growths, maybe a better word, your growths, your wins. We have to notice what we're doing, how the growth that we're having, or we'll just not even notice the small things, and they pile up, they pile up, they pile up. If you do this for a couple, 3 weeks, you'll end up with a hell of a list in your journal. Look what I did this, I did that, and I want you to notice the smallest thing that is positive and demonstrates your growth. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is the dreaded but incredibly powerful mirror exercise. If you don't know this one yet, we have talked about it before. This is going into the bathroom, the bathroom is the best place because you can close the door. No one wonders why you're locked in the bathroom. You won't be disturbed. Go into the bathroom, lock the door behind you, stand in front of the mirror, look yourself right in the eyes. Look right deep into your eyes as you're breathing deeply. Tell yourself, I like you, I love you, I'm here for you, you're amazing, you can do this. Whatever you want to say, send yourself love while looking at yourself directly in the mirror. Use a timer on this one and start with a minimum of 60 seconds. Try and build it up to 2 minutes, to 120 seconds. Try and build it up over time. If you undertake this one, this is number 4, you will be amazed at how much easier it gets very quickly. So this is committing to doing this every day for a couple of 3 weeks, okay, before you choose another one. So doing the mirror exercise consistently, after a while it becomes easy. And you look in the mirror and you're like, yeah, I got this. Okay, so that is number 4. Number 5, and I could give you more, by the way, but let's stick with these for now. Number 5, when you screw up, okay, what do we do when we screw up? So maybe you're struggling and you're still drinking now and then, and you're like, I'm trying to quit, but every 3 or 4 days, I end up having a glass of wine and I'm screwing up that. Or maybe you do cut that person off in traffic. Maybe you do snap back at somebody. Whenever something happens that you regret or you think, gee, I could have stepped up better there. This is a key moment, okay? So we've got all these other exercises where we're celebrating our amazingness, but we're human. And so what I want you to do is pay attention. And when you're not really proud of something you do, some little thing throughout the day, because I know you're not a bad person, you're not running around being evil, but hey, you're human, right? So when something goes awry, notice it. And then as soon as you can, so that evening or whenever, as soon as possible, before bed that night, pull out your journal, take a few deep breaths, and just write down how you wish you would have reacted. Rewrite the event, just briefly in a paragraph or 2. This afternoon, I snapped at my husband, and avoid making up excuses why you did it. So you wouldn't want to say, this afternoon I snapped at my husband, but he was being a real jerk, so he but I probably shouldn't have, even though he deserved it. Like, that is not a good way to do it, okay? Forget about the other person. Just record what you did that you're not too happy with, and then write, here is what I could have done instead, and I'll try and do next time. Write it down. Because when you record this, it goes into the subconscious, and next time you may just automatically react differently. If not, you'll have to do it again and do it again. But if you practice this over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we'd be amazed at how our behaviors that we don't particularly like in ourselves start lessening. We become more aware. What do we do when we drink? Well, it's exactly the same thing. I'm assuming you're trying not to drink. Maybe you're not drinking. But for those of you who are still struggling with alcohol, not all of us are alcohol-free yet, but I assume you're trying. You're going to have to include this. You're going to have to write down, well, today, I hadn't drank in 3 days, and sure enough, I went and had a glass of wine. Next time, what can I do instead? Who can I reach out to? What support system do I have that will help me next time I feel like having a drink and don't want to? Things like that. So just record it and write what you'd rather do and carry on. There it is, gals. 5 exercises you can do to increase your self-love. Everyone does number 1 first, and then choose one of the other 4 to work on over the next few weeks. This is my gift to you on Valentine's Day, because the best gift we can possibly give the world is a higher regard for ourselves. When you work on yourself, it's a gift to others. When you're less bitchy, it's a gift to others. Right? Right. Okay. And now I have an exciting announcement for you. On Saturday, February 22nd, I'm doing a 90-minute masterclass called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Drinking: How to Manifest an Alcohol-Free Life with Ease. This is a hands-on 90-minute workshop, so bring a pen, bring a piece of paper. First, I'm going to teach you how we think changes how we feel, which changes how we behave, which creates our lives. So when we get down to the core of things, our thinking, magic can happen. So that's all I'm going to say about it right now. You're going to hear a lot more about it next week. You can't even sign up right now. I'm not ready for you to do that, but I just wanted to mention it. February 22nd, mark your calendar. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific. So throw that on the old calendar and you'll hear me talk about it more come Monday. Now, you might want to be getting my Sober Living letters. I'm doing these weekly. This is a weekly love letter from me. Instead of bi-weekly, I'm doing it weekly, meaning once a week, because I'm doing the snippets every day. So once a week, you will get a letter from me in your email. And I deliver through email also guides. For example, these 4 or 5 exercises are written up in a PDF, and I'll be sharing that with my list in the coming week, probably next week. So you'll get stuff from me in writing. So in the show notes, you'll find a link. Go ahead and give me your email address so you can get this stuff in writing from me. Also inspiration, also some stuff that I don't even mention on the show. So it just depends on the week. So get in there, make sure you're getting love letters from me. Once you've signed up, just pay attention, and the letters come out on Mondays, okay? So if you sign up and the following Monday you don't get a letter, go and have a look in spam. Watch for the letter because it could get lost in spam, and email is unpredictable and difficult. You know what? This is one of the longest snippets I've ever done. Wow, it's a big one. Well, it's an important topic, gals. So there it is. 5 exercises to increase your self-love. My Valentine's gift to you. May you send more love out into the world as you work on self-love, which is exactly what this is for. And have an amazing weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.